Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Life. I'm your host, Sheree Casey. So I want to check in with everybody and see how everybody's doing. Hopefully things will end soon. I don't believe anybody has any definitive answers to this situation. The only person that knows is God. But through this pandemic, we have to see things in the real world. Now, as we seek God in everything that we do, God put scientists and doctors and people, He gave them the God-given ability to have these expertise. So, I'm not an advocate of watching the news every day, but I am an advocate of being informed. So, at least take a moment to educate yourself about this virus, number one, because you need to know who your enemy is. So you need to study and read up on it, because this virus is an enemy straight from the pit. So don't ignore, and just say, the virus is blah, blah, blah. No, don't ignore that, because if you're ignoring it, you're being ignorant. I've been sick myself all week. And for me to just go outside or go to the store or something, number one, being sick. Number two, without a mask or without gloves. I looked outside and I saw people. I went to get my medication and I was in the car in the drive-thru. I saw people outside with no mask, just acting like it's okay. One of the things that I found interesting about this virus is, guess what, people? It's airborne. It's in the air. And it can travel in the air as well. So walking around with your head in the sand thinking that it doesn't exist. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to get it, and I'm not saying be fearful. I'm just saying be careful. Be educated. Educate yourself about it. And then govern yourself accordingly. We have to be educated. We have to listen. I sat and I watched the Surgeon General. I watched the other doctor. You listen to what they're saying. I read the statistics on not just my area, but the area where I grew up at, where my family is. You might not agree with this, but I distance myself from my own family. I went and did a drive-by and watched my grandchildren play inside the gate, but you never know. It has become a new way of life when you go to the grocery store or when you go anywhere. You have to go out. You can't bring your shoes back in the house. You need to spray them with the disinfect or wash them if you're wearing sneakers. Wipe everything down, your car, your doorknobs, your light fixtures, anything that you touch when you come in the house. Then that doesn't even count taking the groceries out the bag. and then wiping them off. All I'm saying is, some people are listening to this right now saying, I don't do all that. I didn't know we had to do that. It's because you are not paying attention. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. I just literally today, 2 days ago, I looked at a Facebook post from one of my friends that I grew up with in high school 2 days ago. And he was saying, this thing is so real, y'all. 2 of my family members just died 2 days ago. Okay? Today, I looked at his status, and people were telling him to rest in peace. Just that quickly. People are dying in hospitals and nursing homes without their family. And this is the reason why we're being told to be careful. This is the reason why we're told to be careful, because once it spreads, if it attacks you, your immune system, and a nurse I know that works in the hospital said that some of these people didn't even realize that they had underlying issues. They didn't even realize that their immune system was down. Pay attention. Just stay woke. Pay attention to what's going on. It could hurt you. It could not only hurt you, but it could hurt somebody else. You could be a carrier. Now, there are some facets of this disease that don't kill you, but yet and still, they still make you sick. And then everybody's a little nervous, because if you get a sore throat, like I had all week, and a fever, automatically you're like, oh, you're scared to tell people. You're scared to even tell yourself, wait a minute now, you sick here, and then, it takes a while, because doctors are not seeing you in their office anymore. They're doing it on the phone or telemed or Skype. So you have to wait a few days before they see you. It's a whole process now. It's a whole new ball game out here, guys. So if you're not safe and careful, and you prolong, you get a sore throat or a headache, oh, nothing, it's okay, and you don't go to the doctor, you may end up paying for that. They don't have enough respirators in the hospital. I don't know if you notice or not, but nobody's allowed to visit you. Nobody's allowed to stay with you and hold your hand and make you feel better. Anybody, if you ever been in the hospital and been by yourself, it's not fun. It's miserable when nobody comes to visit you. In New York and New Jersey right now, there are bodies laying in trucks because the funeral parlors are so backed up. Not only are they backed up, but some of them are price gouging for cremation. They're saying that the cremation takes about an hour or so, and then after the cremation, the ashes have to cool down before they can put another body in. So that means that people who normally would go home when the funeral parlor closes can't go because they're doing cremations round the clock. Now, I know normally we have an uplifted conversation here, but I'm trying to uplift you with education right now. I'm trying to get you to understand that if you don't educate yourself about this virus, all I'm asking you to do is educate yourself. Read up on it. And I'm not talking about the fear and all of that kind of stuff. Just read on the virus. And people are saying, well, it's just like the flu and it's taking people out of here. Yes, the flu has taken people out of here. But most of the instances where the flu has taken people out is because people have waited too late to get treated. I'll give you an example. My ex-spouse would not go to the doctor, would not go to the hospital, and just laid there, had a fever for 2 and 3 days. Then finally, when he couldn't breathe, I had to call 911. By the time he got to the hospital, he went to the hospital, and within the hour they were calling me because he had to go on a respirator because he had white lung pneumonia. So when we wait and ignore the symptoms as a little cold, that's what, and our immune system is shot. That's when we die. But the killing is a little faster if we just stuff it off. So I'm speaking life into you today in a different way. And I'd like to ask you to please stay informed. Educate yourself about this virus. Before there's a lot of talk about different states are opening up, beaches are opening. Be wise in your choices about where you go. Don't be in such a rush to get back out there once you educate yourself. Do some research. Don't just, the virus, and, this one said that. No, read. Listen to the Surgeon General. Listen to him. Listen to the doctors, the experts that are giving information every day. If you don't believe them, I'm sure if you have a physician, listen to your physician. If you went to the doctor's office and they told you that, you're at high risk for cancer or even you have cancer, would you not do everything you could to save yourself and to still be here in the land of the living? Think about that, because that's the same analogy. That's the exact same analogy and the same way that you see this. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm not here to condemn anyone. All I'm asking you to do is educate yourself. Yes, it's in God's hands. And yes, we are praying around the clock. If you've never prayed before, you need to start. Because these are praying days. Yes, indeed, they are. But all I'm saying is stay woke, stay informed, and stay alive.